Sometimes good old turn-based game with cool animations, player versus player in real time, really put that excitement in me. Because what you can do is you build your character any way you want, one-shot your opponent, and both you and your opponent just laugh at the absurdity that ensued. Welcome to Etheria Restart. The game will be out soon and it is your time to pre-register. You'll have the launch pre-review livestream on these times on screen as well as the fight of CBT 2. Yeah, let's get back to the story though. I got invited to a tournament by Timaeus, literally goat of PvP tourneys. We're against these content creators and we're in a Swiss best of 3 format, which just means you only fight people with the same amount of win-lose record. If you win 3 in a row, you're in the grand final, and you get a prize as well. I never win stuff in my life, and my parents try to not let it get them down. First of all, introduction. Etheria Restart is a strategic turn-based gacha game. If you watched me for Star Rail, you should understand this similar concept. We have 4 characters in the team, they have 2 skills and an ultimate ability. All of them do a lot of things like this one. This one revives your whole team. This one steals your buff and put it on all of their allies. It's crazy. Every character can be built with different equipment, which comes with their own stats, substats, set effects, all of that. The cool part is in PvP, you can ban certain characters and protect your third pick from being banned. So that opens up for a lot of strategy. Say if I pick this Ultra Chat, which is a damage dealer, and I put him on third pick, my opponent has to prevent him from taking the turn or kill him quickly because they cannot ban him. And when you put a unique equipment on him, it allows him to be untargetable at the start of the game. Like the strategy goes really deep, and that is exactly what I tried round 1 against Summoner's War Legend, Shawn B. So we went for these 5 as their picks. It's basically a buff blocker, a healer, a damage dealer, and a defensive damage dealer, and another healer. The strategy part comes in where you have to deduce on what your opponent is doing. Obviously, the idea here is to heal his team, cripple my team, deal damage to me, and it's all a really powerful strategy. But when I picked a GOAT Messiah on third and 4 supports for him, reaction advance Messiah, I know if I don't finish the fight quick, I'm gonna die, so you get this. You see, if the opponent plays a balanced and slower team, I opted for an immensely aggressive team with a buff into a damage dealer to just pretty much kill everyone before they get to set the pace. And that is the essence of a PvP strategic RPG. It's actually quite addictive. Yeah, obviously we won after that, Messiah just kind of popped off. Even Shawn went.
Wait, you hit dot hard? That is insane.
Oh, don't worry, Shawn, because you will indeed show me as I get dismantled in the second fight. He banned my goat, no. This time I opted for a slower team while he actually sped up with this character. This was the person that I buffed Messiah with, and she can do a lot more than just buffing. Her ultimate has a skill reset effect, which forces me to not be able to use my skill. Paired that with this guy's buff block, I can't heal enough in time, nor can I buff my allies. And the game plays like you're the war general. Command your team better, usually you would win. And in this case, it was well played by Shawn and I got cooked. I guess it's time for our last fight. I also have no idea what I'm doing most of the time. No, my goat got bad again. But because this thing's not bad, I picked her. Her name is Tiamat, and if you get to use her, you win 90% of the time. I won't even go into how she works, but let's just say she's Messiah's damage times 2 while being unkillable. Obviously had to ban her in the end, but that allowed my crutch, the actual strongest character in the game, this thing. She's not even a 5-star. So when someone dies on your team, you get to revive with her. You also get a fat heal every turn. Pair that with Beyontin here, which revives your whole team almost every turn. But that's not even important. Her second skill gives you a cooldown reduction, allowing this demonic girl to just dump another ultimate after I just used one. And cool animations aside, it also hit like a truck. And that was the crutch that I went with the entire tournament. It's this for shy. And that was a win for your boy. We proceed to round 2 against Jenna's on. You know I gotta pick my crutch of all time. Jenna went with, oh my god, my goat. By the way, it was the one that introduced Messiah's potential to me when we practiced. He's about to do it to me right now. I went for a slower setup with these 2 characters, which both gets rid of buffs pretty well, and this guy, which is another non-5-star, somehow he has a 30% damage reduction just by existing. And that was my defense against Jesus himself. I realized, yo, I can just ban him instead. Not today, Messiah. I know the terror that he can bring. The final team that we got turns out to be the Infinite Revive duo on my side with this guy, which is also broken. Get this, the more turns you take, the higher his defense goes. The higher his defense goes, the higher his damage goes. He also has an assist attack mechanic where he follows up an ally and just does nuclear damage with enough turns going by. His ultimate, well, nuclear damage. And without enough damage to get through my Infinite Revive, since I banned the goat, we picked up the victory. I think I'm starting to find my playstyle Semifinal here. Game number 2 against Jenna sees me pick in. This time though, I decided to third pick the buff blocker, Heinrich. Remember when I said the opponent cannot ban the third slot? This makes this slot a very important decision to make, and I made this decision seeing that my opponent has a lot of buff characters. So if we can just like put buff block on, don't we just win? We see the goat again, but he did confirm that he did not intend to pick this character. I won't even lie, even as a mispick, I'm still immensely afraid of him. Going into the game, they have my wife, which steals your buff and gives it to their ally. But thankfully, I got this unintimidating looking 4-star, which is actually underrated as heck since he dispels buffs like all of them. So they stole my buff, I can just dispel it, right? Like, we're chilling. I also got this very intimidating looking 5-star, which as I mentioned, blocks their buffs. See, this guy right here could buff his whole team with a fat shield, but thanks to the buff block, they cannot get the shield on. We're able to murder the goat before he murders us. From there, they again does not have enough damage to get through my seemingly infinite healing, and we grab our victory. With that, we steadily go on to the third round, which is the final round before the finals. I don't know how I got here, but I did. Wait, let me just... I'm uncreative as shit. And this time, Seiso, which is my opponent here, went for an aggressive team with these two, being able to just probably buff and one-shot somebody. Not if I just ban it though. And they banned my last pick. This thing can perma-stun the enemy, by the way. But well, we got our infinite revive set up though, so that should just pull us through. With the fight starting, the opponent pretty much just does not have enough damage to get through my revives. And the 30% damage reduction from this 4-star guy named Viper is just helping that fact as well. They do look like they do a lot, but well, I just gotta heal all of that. Given the opponent has no healers and my defensive DPS Rahu can just pull up with all this damage. By the way, Viper here can sometimes counterattack with his ultimate ability, which dispels buff and does some damage. Literally a secret 5-star now. And for the fact that the opposing team has a lot of AoE damage, I had a high chance to counter a Viper. So yeah, they may steal my buffs as they may. We can just constantly dispel them and we just have to beat them one by one, which is exactly what we did. Seiso got really close to killing my revivers though. But by healing my reviver with my reviver and reducing the cooldown of my reviver with my reviver, I got my reviver to heal my reviver again. They killed my damage healers though, but I just revived them with Beyond Zone. Their buff stealer Veronica can't kill us, and whoa, we're almost dead. Full heal by Sonya. And at this point, the game was done. I was just looping the revives and it was gonna be an eventual victory. It is a very cheesy way to play the game. Coming into the next game though, oh no, they banned both my crutches. You know I gotta do it to him. So if Lily here busts Messiah and he gets to nuke, we should just win. That was what I thought was gonna happen, but well, shit, why did we not take the turn here? Well, simple enough, even when Lily pushes up Messiah, I was just a little bit too slow with Messiah anyway, which allowed Hellkid here to still outspeed and get a thick shield, pushing that team up for the buff blocker Heinrich to get rid of my crit damage buff on Messiah. That means I was not able to kill them, not a chance, which is where I waited for a turn. But with Hoya one-shotting me 3 times over, and then I have no revive since they got banned, well, we lose. In any case, we still have the third game though to decide who the winner is. And then let me get the revive, baby. It did yoink away one of my revivers, so I don't just win. But that opened up a chance for me to just grab onto the best healer in the game. He hates to fight Heinrich, so I got Heinrich. Oh no, he's doing it to me. Thankfully, I got the only other buffer in the game and banned their only buffer, so Messiah could just not kill me. But Rahu did kill me though. Yeah, that guy's insane. However, in the end, thankfully, we still have a revive, which is the only reason I won like 99% of my games. Lily here resets the opposing cooldown, so they don't get to click any of their skills on me. We got Heinrich back, killed Messiah, and we won from there. Again, they simply doesn't have the damage to get through the revive because I had another healer to just protect my reviver. If they go for the healer, I just heal her with Sonya. If they went for Heinrich, I just revive with Sonya and repeat this cheesy game plan enough to grab us our victory. That means I've won 3 games out of 3. I never won in my life, so this was the first. But since Seiso is basically second place, he ends up being my opponent for the grand finals again, which he got tired of my bullshit. He identified my crutch and skillfully got rid of it. For all 3 of the games, I could not grab my revivers. And the result? I think I should win this. And you do it again. I'm out of healers. Well, damn it. I gotta do it to him, right? So we hit you here. Cast invincibility. I forgot. Well, that was terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rahu here. Wait, what? I ran out of time. Oh, dude. Well, misplace after misplace, and especially after my cheesy strat is out the window, it turns out I'm ass. Well played by Seiso to capitalize on the flaws of my draft and misplace though, and yeah, though I didn't win, that was one of the funnest experiences I had in a PvP game. Just the thought of all the possibilities, crafting your strategies, it's honestly pretty satisfying. I really recommend giving it a shot. Etheria Restart will have a launch pre-reveal live stream on April 26th. Every time zone is on the screen right now, and the final CBT will be on May 8th. Register for the game and have at it yourself. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I appreciate getting me into this story. Maybe next time we'll win, and that'll be all. Take care.